which is awesome because then we have so many steaks, roasts, different flavors of sausages, hot dogs, bratwurst, burger, all that stuff that you can imagine, and it is delicious, you guys. A disclaimer I want to say before this video, before I even get into this video, is everything that I'm saying, please don't take offense to any of it. I'm not judging anyone that buys meat from the store. I grew up eating meat from the store. My family bought it all the time. I had no idea about factory farming. I didn't know what it was, or I just didn't even think about it, to be honest with you. And I know a lot of people don't. I'm not judging anyone that buys meat from the store. We all have different situations in life. We are all in a different place. We are all different in a place financially. It can be expensive to buy meat from your farmer, to try to learn how to hunt yourself and take classes and get your hunter safety. I understand all that. This video is not telling you how to live or what you should do. It's just a video of how we have made decisions to save money and eat healthier meat for our family. I wanted to share that with you. So my channel is not about judgment or criticism, so please don't take that this way. If you have a negative comment to leave, please don't leave it here. I don't want my channel to be a place for people to feel bad or feel like they're not doing the right thing or they're not living the right way. We are all doing the best we can, and I'm just sharing something that's worked for us, and maybe it might be something that you want to try later on in your life, or you might want to get into and see how it works for you. That's all this is about. Not everybody lives in a rural community or close to mountains where they can go hunting. You know, it's not feasible for every single person. So that's why we don't judge. We're doing the best we can. This is an informational video on our family and our life. I was asked by a really good friend, Debbie O'Hara. Her channel is Debbie Saves. I will link it down below. She does lots of money saving videos, food saving videos. I've just connected with her because this is a topic that's very dear to my heart. It's something that I have lived by my entire life, and it's the reason me and my husband are debt-free and have a very large sum of money in the bank. And I don't say that to brag or anything. It's just something that we're very proud of. We've worked so hard. So let me know in the comments below and in a thumbs up if that's something you guys want me to talk about, to share with you my knowledge of what we've done to become financially successful. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 tips on how we save around $2,700 to $2,800 a year on meat, because we do eat meat as a family. It's not something I've eaten my entire life. I used to be vegan and vegetarian for a while, but I found out that that doesn't work for me. I don't feel as good being completely plant-based. I can't bring myself to buy meat at the store because of an ethical purpose, or ethical reasons, I should say. I don't believe in supporting companies that treat the animals the way they do. When we lived in Wyoming, I had a friend show me a video of Tyson Foods, and I think it was Heritage Farms chicken on YouTube. It's a video and an image that affected me so badly, and it's been 7 years ago. I can still remember the day of watching that video, bawling my eyes out, vowing to myself I would never buy animal products at the store again. I would figure out a way to provide for ourselves as much as we can without having to give companies money that torture animals. And there are some companies out there that do the right thing and treat animals with respect. And I do have a few notes here by me because this has been a lot of time and research to make sure I have as much accurate information as possible. So if I'm looking down, that's why. Our tip number 1, like I said earlier, is we don't buy meat from the store, not only for ethical reasons, but also for health reasons. Our health is so important to me. It's something that once it starts going downhill, it's very, very, very hard to get back. We do not buy meat at the store because we don't know where it comes from. We don't know how those animals are treated. We don't know the history of what goes on, but I do know that a lot of it is very negative and very sad. And even if they say grass-fed or free range, that doesn't really mean anything. Grass-fed all cows need grass. So they can be on a feedlot and stepping in manure and other dead cows and just a disgusting situation and still be considered grass-fed and be in a tight, locked-in pen because of that thing. As long as they're being fed grass, it doesn't matter. They can be fed a whole bunch of other things. So just saying that it's grass-fed, it does not matter. So knowing where your beef comes from, or your bison, or whatever other meat you're buying, you have to remember that just because it says grass-fed, that can be a complete lie in ways. Yes, they are grass-fed, but what else is going on behind the scenes? Free range chicken eggs, when they say that, yes, that can be true, but from the research that I have done, free range means that they've been let out for 10 or 15 minutes a day. It doesn't mean that they're out walking on green pastures like my chickens are, or green grasses, pecking and being a regular chicken. That doesn't matter. As long as they're being let out for a few minutes a day, they are allowed to say that on the package. So for me, it's hard to know what to believe. You want to believe it, but companies want to make money and sell their products and are willing to do a lot of shady things to make it work for them. So that's why we do not buy meat at the store. Ethical reasons and health reasons. So how do we get our meat? I have talked about it a little bit before. We hunt for our food, and I know that topic can be very controversial to some because hunting can be considered like a sport, and I don't consider it a sport, and I hate when people call it a sport because it's not a sport to me. That is how we get our food, and if we don't get enough that year, then we don't have meat. We don't buy it from the store and we go without. We live off of beans for protein, our chicken eggs, and there's a lot of other vegetables that have protein in them. It's not quite the same because you don't get all the amino acids from those products like you do healthy organic meat. So that's kind of a bummer, but luckily my husband and I have been very lucky and very successful every single year that we've been married, and we've been able to get what we need that way. I will talk a little bit about how much money it costs us to hunt, and we do fish. So that's how we get a variety of food. So getting into the cost of hunting and what we pay, hunting tags for elk are $50 a year, and that's over the counter in Utah. It's where we live. So we get 2 of those a year. One elk, you get an average of 200 to 250 pounds of meat per elk, which is a lot. So when we get 2 elk, that's around 500 pounds of meat per year for our family. You know, like our freezers are completely full. I'll put a clip in here of all of our elk meat in our freezer so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. We have it professionally processed. So that's my second tip. And by doing that, we've done it ourselves before. If you do it yourself, you only can do so much with it. So we were cutting it up in roasts and burgers, and that was it. And you can kind of get sick of just roasts and burgers. You need a variety to keep yourself interested. When we have it professionally processed, the guy we found, he's about 20 minutes away from where we live. He does the most amazing job. We get some awesome jerky, salami, bratwurst, sausages. He does a variety of Italian sausages, so breakfast, and then spaghetti sausages, and just so much. And then we have regular ground, and then we have, I can't even tell you, I think 5 or 6 different flavors of just they call them meat sticks, and we can cut those up and use those as healthy snacks. My son loves those. And the only thing we really don't get out of it is a white meat. So that's where fishing will come in place for us. And because of our hunting tags, it comes with a fishing license, so we don't have to buy another fishing license. So that's basically free. Where we fish is just right in our backyard. We have the river running right behind us, so we don't have to drive hardly at all. For the total price of the year, our processing fee is around $402 per elk. So So it's $804 to get it processed into the variety that we do. I wish I could send you guys samples of what we're eating because it's so good. The other thing that we hunt is turkey. Our turkey tags here in Utah are around $25. And that is for one turkey, and that's usually all we get is just one. We don't need more than that. So total for the year, we are around $1,329 for 500 pounds of meat, as much fish as we want, and a turkey. And that is more than enough, and plus it helps feed our dogs. Our dogs love elk, and it's healthy for them. I was looking online, and the average family of 4 in Utah, I based it on a family of 4. Even though we're a family of 3, I'm still feeding lots of dogs, so I kind of included our pet dogs as one more person. A typical family of 4 spends around $4,000 a year on just buying meat. The way I came up with that number is I googled the average amount of pork an American eats, the average amount of beef, chicken, and fish. Then I also googled the average price per pound for each of those meats, and that's how I came up with the number. So for beef, the average price per pound is around $7.50 because ButcherBox you're paying about $12 to $14 a pound, and then other places you can get it for $3 to $5 a pound. So $7.50 was right in the middle, and that's kind of what I did. I went off the average of all of these so that it was fair. I will put a little diagram and showing all my numbers right here just so you can see where I came up with those numbers. For kids, they don't eat as much as adults, so I just calculated about $300 per year per kid for meat. So a total for 2 adults and 2 kids was $4,036.58. And that's a lot of money comparing to where we're spending around $1,326 a year. So that's a total savings of around $2,800. My third tip on how we save money is we have a huge deep freezer, and this is something I cannot stress enough. These are the best things to have. They help you save so much money. They cost you around $53 a year, so it's about $4 a month to run, and the fuller you keep it, the cheaper it is to run. And if you find good deals on vegetables or anything, you can even freeze jellies and breads. We freeze breads all the time because you can get them in the discount bin at Smith's for pretty cheap. I get some good quality bread there, and I don't want to just pass it up, so we freeze it, thaw it out when we're ready to use it, and that has been super helpful with the deep freezer. My tip number 4 is don't waste. The average American wastes so much food, and I've seen it firsthand with my own family. My mom is the waster of all wasters. Something, I don't know, it's like I've seen her throw so much food away, and it breaks my heart because I'm like, oh my god, don't do that, my chickens will eat it, or my dogs will eat that, or like, don't just throw it away or don't waste it. It makes me really sad to see food just get thrown away, especially when it was a live animal that died. It died so that we could have food. Whether you're hunting for it, buying it from the store, or whatever the case may be, please, please, please don't waste it. The way that I have been able to save meat from getting freezer burnt in the freezer is I'll wrap it in saran wrap, I'll wrap a layer of tin foil, then I'll wrap freezer paper, and I'll duct tape that really tight, and then I put it in a really heavy duty freezer bag. The key to it is keeping as much air out as possible. Air is what gets a freezer burn. So if you can keep the package flat against the meat and wrap it tight, you're going to be good for a long time. I've had meat stay good in a freezer for over a year. I know some people don't recommend doing that, but we have never gotten sick from it. It's always tasted great because we've taken so much care. By doing that, not only are you saving another animal from dying at a factory farm, you are saving yourself money on having to rebuy that product again because you took the time to take care of it in the first place. Also, going along with tip number 4 is to try to use the same piece of meat for more than one meal. And what I mean by that is, say you buy a roasted turkey from Costco or Smith's or wherever you shop, and you bring it home and you're using it for lunch meat or for casserole or whatever you're wanting to use it for, instead of just throwing the bones and everything away, take that carcass, put it in your crock pot or put it in a pot on the stove if you're home all day, and let it slowly boil, and you are going to create the most delicious broth that you can make a soup out of, or just create bone broth for yourself to drink during the day. Those have been some of the best soups that we have ever had, is homemade broth soups. So you'll be surprised at how much nutrition and how much meat is actually still on those bones when you boil it, because it will just fall off. I can tell you firsthand, it makes you feel so good to have homemade soup. We've done that with the turkeys that we have hunted and harvested, and the broth, it's like gold. I can't explain the color. It's like a liquid gold. I'll do a video this year for you guys and show you what I'm talking about if you've never done it yourself. It's really, really, really awesome. And then you can add any kind of vegetable, potatoes, noodles, or whatever. And not only are you saving yourself from buying another thing of meat for that soup or that meal, you're reusing that same animal for another meal. So you're saving yourself money and saving another animal's life. So it's a win-win for everyone. That's something that we have been so good at doing. We never ever throw something away until we've used everything we can possibly use out of it. Our families think we're crazy. When we go over to their house for Thanksgiving, they are not like me and Skylar. They just go buy a turkey from the store, which I said is fine. I have nothing against it. I've done that before too. But they'll just throw the whole thing away. And me and Skylar are always like, don't do that. Let us take home that carcass. Look at all that nutrition. Look at all that meat that's still left on it. Please don't just throw it away. So we'll take it home and we'll reuse it for a whole nother meal. And that's really the only time that we'll probably have a store-bought animal product in our home, is when we brought it home from somebody else's home that they were just going to throw it away, that we know the value of it and don't want it to just go to waste. Alright you guys, my last and final tip is try not to eat meat every single day or for every single meal. We don't typically need as much meat as we think we do. There are some diets that require you to eat meat and only meat. That's a different situation. I've never tried a diet like that. I don't think my body would like it, because when I eat a lot of meat, I start to feel sluggish and sick. So I eat meat 2 to 3 days a week, and I only eat maybe 3 ounces at a time. So I'm only eating about 9 ounces of meat for an entire week. I just don't need a lot in my diet, but I have learned that I do need a little bit. By doing that, I have found that I feel a lot better. I have more energy, but when I was vegan and vegetarian, I didn't have enough energy. So I found a happy balance for myself. I feel really, really good, and it's really worked for us. I'm going to leave Debbie's link in the video description below so you guys can check out her channel if you want to learn more about how she saves money for her family and tips that she does. I think you'll really like her. I have fallen in love with her. She's so awesome. We text each other a lot, and we just have become really good friends. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave any comments down below of some future money saving videos that you want me to do, if it's something you're interested in, if it's a topic you like hearing about. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I try to upload once or twice a week. I am pregnant and I'm starting to feel better, so I'm kind of coming around a little bit more. And I appreciate you guys for all the comments and support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.